and then when I push it to the back, it rolls underneath my ears, and I'm like, what's tickling back there? And it's my hair. It's for my girl. I'm waiting for my girl to cut it when I get out.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a personal matter,
Under,
sentimental reason.
understood. Understood.
All right. We'll get going. Let's be on the record in case number 2017 CR 1130, captioned State of Kansas versus Rigoberto Rangel. Would the parties announce their appearances, please?
It pleases the court, Your Honor. State of Kansas appears by Crystal Oswald, Deputy District Attorney.
May it please the court, Mr. Rangel appears in person, in custody, and with counsel Timothy Olson.
All right, we are here for a status hearing. This is one of those cases that unfortunately has gotten caught up in our pandemic response here. If I remember correctly, we had a pretrial conference set back in March, and we set it over to May. But during that time, the courts kind of shut down for the pandemic, and it's kind of just been sitting there. So Mr. Olson requested that we have a status today to try and figure out where we're going with this case. So Mr. Olson?
Thank you, Judge. I mostly wanted, for the benefit of my client, to be able to hear and see what's going on. We've actually been able to do quite a bit of work in the background because a lot of what's going on right now is related to discovery. This case started as an investigation out of Tonganoxie, which is where the girls were residing prior to coming under the care of Mr. Rangel. And so there was Tonganoxie discovery and FBI discovery that Tonganoxie had. I understand that they have sent that to the DA's office for processing, and I think I'm going to get it, in a matter of days, or at least it'll be ready in a matter of days. And then the girls were found in Kansas City, Missouri at the tail end of the time when they were with Mr. Rangel. And so KC-Mo PD also did quite a bit of investigation. And I understood from speaking with Mr. Rangel back in March that he wanted to get all this, and I think he should get it before making a decision. So I understand that Crystalline has it. KC-Mo PD and Tonganoxie, the city of, have been coordinating with her so that it can all be in the same place. And so just so Mr. Rangel knows what all has been going on, we should have that soon. I think I'll come visit him soon once I've had a chance to digest that. And then, so for now, I'd ask for probably another status. And I think at that next status, we ought to know, one way or another where we're going.
All right.
Judge, if I may. Yeah, so he's correct. I do have everything now. The real delay and why he doesn't have it yet is because some of the discs are Blu-ray, and then there's also a jump drive. So I made copies from at my office, in my own office, of the discs that were not Blu-ray or jump drives. I can't do that by myself, so I asked our IT person to assist with the Blu-ray because there's a conversion and things that happen. So that was outside of what I could do just on my computer. So he and I are meeting on Monday to get the rest of that copied, and then it should be ready for Mr. Olson very soon. It is from both KC-Mo and Tonganoxie. That's true.
All right. Well, so it sounds like you guys are going to have discovery done up. The speedy trial, and this is my understanding of it, that everything that was on the clock came completely off the clock. And once the Chief Justice's order is lifted, then the speedy trial will be 150 days from that date. So I don't know if that will be tomorrow. I don't know if it will be a week, a month, 3 months from now. There's just no way of telling. I assume from what I heard from Mr. Olson about wanting to make sure all the discoveries off are received and reviewed, that there's a possibility that some negotiations can be had in resolving this case.
I think that's fair to say.
I suppose, yeah, I really don't know. I just wanted to have all the pieces in play before I seriously talked about that with my client.
Sure. Okay. All right. So what would we like our next setting to be, and when would we like it to be?
I
think-
think status is fine. I mean, because if it is pretrial, you know, it can turn into a pretrial. I think about 30 days.
That's fine for the state.
All right. I'm not going to give you a date right now, but I'll look in and sometime at the end of July. Although, as I remember, the last time that my assistant was throwing things at me, she told me that July was pretty bad, so it might be early August. But either way, we'll get it done and set. One thing that I wanted to mention, because I was thinking as I was looking through this case, my understanding is my chief has talked to the DA regarding the possibility of some criminal mediation going on. I know that the other jurisdictions that I'm aware of have tried it, have found it to be very helpful, and particularly with a giant backlog of cases, with people sitting in custody without prospect of having their case heard anytime soon, it might be real helpful. When last I talked to my chief judge, he hadn't heard back from the DA. So, Miss Oswald, it might not be fair, but could you circle back with your boss and see if he's had any thoughts about that possibility?
Absolutely.
And look, I think you all need your discovery done up before you know where this goes, but this might be a case that might develop into something that could benefit from mediation. I don't know, but anyway, we'll see. Tim, do you do stuff out in Johnson County?
Unfortunately, yes, Judge.
But have you gone through their criminal mediation in any of your cases out there?
I have not. I know that they do it. I guess none of my cases have gotten to the point, where it was an option. Either it was we're going to go to trial or work something out. So I could be open to it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, and I understand the view from the bench sometimes is different than the view from the other side of it, but the judges I know think it's really helpful. Anyway, other things that we need for our record today?
Nothing from the state, Judge?
Nothing from the defense. Mr. Rangel, did you be able to understand everything we've been talking about?
Pretty much. As far as my knowledge goes, I can understand that. You guys got procedures you got to take care of. I know at the end everything's gonna set me free, so I'm willing to be patient. Here to the end of July or the early of August would be fine with me. I ain't in no rush. I understand that my freedom's gonna let me free, so yeah, I'm on board and waiting. That's no problem.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna send you both an email with my assistant, and so we can find another date. Do you all want to do it in this format again, Tim?
That's fine with me. I mean, if things still continue to be the way they are, I'll sort of let the higher ups decide that.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All right. Then I will plan it for another Zoom hearing unless I hear differently from one of you.
Sounds good.
Anything else for our record today?
No, Judge.
No, that's all.
We are adjourned.